Today with Amazon Business, Shannon Stuckey of Wedderburn Woodworking helped her team buy 63 circular saws.
Okay, Andy, take it easy.
Now she uses her time to focus on growing something big. Buy smarter, dream bigger. Visit Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
The Big Bark, listen up dog owners, it's for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host, Dara Burke, and canine co-hosts, Bruno and Millie. The Big Bark.
Good evening and welcome to The Big Bark, a very special Christmas edition of The Big Bark. And we have a good few guests for you this evening. Joining us in a few minutes is Pete Wedderburn. You may know him from Ireland AM and from Virgin Media 1, or his column in the Telegraph newspaper. We have Tim Kirby from Pet Bond joining us a bit later on as well. And we have Samantha Rawson from the Canine College of Dog Training, as well as Carrie from Madra, and we're hoping to have Marie from Limerick Animal Welfare joining. We have Santa Claus himself going to be joining shortly as well. And we'll have live music from Mirren as well a bit later on in the show. So, I tell you one thing, it has been an incredible year. It's been a strange year for a lot of people. But for us here at the Big Bark, we set out what we wanted to do, and for the festive season, we have raised a heck of a lot of money for 4 wonderful charities. We raised money for Madra, for Limerick Animal Welfare, Dogs Aid, and for the Search and Rescue Dogs Association. So we're absolutely delighted, and I hope to have a final total on that a bit later on in the show for you. So first of all, let me welcome in Pete Wedderburn. So Pete is going to tell us all about his new site, which is petfixclub.com, and it is an absolute privilege to have Pete here on the show with us today. Pete, very huge welcome to the Big Bark.
Hi Dara, how you doing? Great to see you. Listen, your podcast's fantastic. It's just great that somebody's gone to all this effort to set this up and to actually make animals such a focus of a podcast here in Ireland. It's great that you're doing this.
Thanks ever so much. And from you, Pete, that actually means a lot to hear that. I suppose I could say I'm a bit of a fanboy because I've been following you and stuff for years, and you do some brilliant articles. You do some wonderful features on Ireland AM, and it's always a privilege to even follow you on social media.
Thanks very much. You probably watched Echo Island all those years ago, did you?
I did actually, yeah. I'm kind of at that age now where I can still remember those things. Well, Pete, tell me about Pet Fix Club.
Well, Pet Fix Club is kind of like a natural extension of working as a vet in the media. And really, it started out with a mission of really looking to the future and looking at how animal care is changing with the advent of the internet. And the aim really, the bottom line is that the aim is to provide affordable, high quality, online veterinary advice to everybody, everywhere, all the time. And that was the kind of the starting point of it. And we went on there, and that was 2 years ago now. And we basically put in place a huge, first of all, we started off with a really big encyclopedia of everything about different aspects of animal care. We trawled through my own archives that I've been writing for the last 25 years, and we kind of chose the best of those. I wrote a book actually about 20 years ago on just basically owning a pet, and it was everything from hamsters to gerbils to guinea pigs and dogs and cats, and that book sold well for a few years, and then time moved on, and I bought the rights from the original publisher. And so that's one of the things that we put into Pet Fix Club, was all that information about just good quality care of all pets. And we also put in we made over 150 professional videos about particular aspects that people get worried about. For example, your dog's got gastroenteritis, what do you do? So we put some professional videos in there about the common problems that people have to face with their pets. And once we'd done all that, we thought, well, what more can we do? And we then decided that we'd make an online pet store where we wouldn't just stock everything. We'd basically stock everything that I would like to have myself available in the pet shop of my dreams. And so that includes different types of foods, different pet accessories from Kongs to canine connectables, different types of leads and harnesses, things like Julius Canine, everybody aware of, and a whole bunch of other ones. Actually, a really nice Northern Irish sort of tweed type. That's a bandana, but she's also done leashes and collars that go with that. And so we basically a whole different selection of stuff online. But then to go on from there, we decided to use computer technology as best we could to really help people in the simplest of ways. And so two of the things that I think are really exciting are a personalized pet planner. And what happens there is the computer basically asks you a bunch of questions about how you look after your pet, from exercise to feeding to dental care to toys. And you spend 5-10 minutes typing all your answers, and then we give you our recommendations on what you should do. And so you get green ticks where you've done everything right, amber little warnings when maybe you can improve things a little bit, and the red zone, the red things are things that you really ought to do very urgently. For example, if you haven't wormed your dog for over a year, or you haven't been to see the vet for over 2 years, you should really take quite urgent sort of action. So that's the pet personalized planner. And then to go on from there, then we have an automated triage system. So if you've got something wrong with your pet and just not quite sure what to do about it, again, you type in your questions, or type in the signs your pet's showing you, and what we'll do is we'll come back to you immediately saying this is what you ought to do. So you get asked a bunch of questions about what's your pet doing, and at the end of that whole process, you get given a recommendation. And that could be, look, go to the vet urgently. So maybe your cat's got a blocked bladder and you haven't seen your cat pass urine for a day and it's squatting on the litter tray all the time. That is an absolute emergency, and you need to get to the vet without any delay at all. It's dangerous. That's the first possibility. Second possibility is maybe your dog's got a slight runny eye, and no more than that. It's quite bright and quite happy. And we might say to you, look, that's something which you might give some simple treatment, like wiping with a bit of moist cotton wool for the next 24, 48 hours. And you know, at that stage, if the animal still isn't better, then you need to go and see the vet. And then the third possibility is something like maybe a dog with an obvious ear infection. And so I had somebody contact me on a Sunday afternoon about this one time. Do they need to go to the vet straight away? And I was able to say to them, look, yeah, you do need to go to the vet to get this sorted, but you don't need to go right now. It's not an emergency, so you can wait till tomorrow morning and then contact your vet. So that's the second part that's quite novel. And the third bit that's quite novel, and I think really almost key to our website, is the Ask a Vet button. And what that means is you click on a button and you then can type in a message of something that's bothering you about your pet. You can send a photograph or a video, and myself or one of my team will get that message immediately, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So again, it's just a way of giving people personalized, individualized advice from a vet very, very promptly. Now, it's not the same as going to see a vet. It's not the same as having a hands-on consultation. We can't make diagnoses, but we can give people, really good general information. And my aim is really to help pet owners be empowered. I've always thought that veterinary medicine, a bit like human medicine, can get a little bit sort of, can confuse people because it can be made to seem so complicated. Whereas in actual fact, it's really, it's at many levels, it's common sense, and it's about giving people the benefit of my training and experience to help them deal with their pets in a really effective way on their own. And I said that I would tell people when they can go to the vet, but one of the situations that I've already had to deal with is there was somebody contact me from Bangladesh because their little cat had really a very bad dose of diarrhea, and their other cat had already died of this diarrhea, and they couldn't get to a vet because of where they live. And what could they do? So I was able to say to them, listen, I'm not sure what's wrong with your cat, but the most important thing with any case of diarrhea is to make sure you maintain the fluids. So keep giving your cat plenty of oral fluids and nurse them well, keep them warm and stay with them. And she then kept in touch with me over the following couple of days, and her cat made a really good recovery. So that's a kind of example, extreme example of how I think online can now really help people an awful lot.
And do you know, Pete, the thing about it is, like, especially the year we've had with like the COVID lockdowns and looking like we're going into one again probably after Christmas. But especially now with that, you have like this brilliant resource online now. So you can first of all like go to Perfect's Club rather than going to the vet straight away. Obviously, if your dog or your cat is in a real dire state, like everyone's recommendation would be to
Of course.
see your vet immediately. But it's a great resource to have, and like to my knowledge, there's been nothing like this in Ireland before.
I actually don't think there's anything quite like it in the world. I think it's a world first in that sense. You see, people can sign up for free, okay? So you can get a month, 30 days, no cost at all. That gives people a flavour of what it's like. But after that, we ask people to pay €5 a month or $4.99. And for that, then they can ask the vet as many questions as they want. As well as I've only really touched on what we have there. Those are the main things as far as I can see. But we also have an online community, so people can share photographs and they can, have discussions about different aspects of pet care. And we also have a list of services. So people who run boarding kennels or dog training or animal behavior stuff or anything at all connected with pets, they can have listings there. So, and it's all geolocated. You see, there's an awful lot you can do online nowadays. Computers are just such remarkable tools, and the idea is that we're using those tools to give people the best experience they can for themselves and for their pet. That's what it's all about, really. And it is amazing. I mean, how things have changed in the last just 10 years. People they have a computer everywhere on their phone, and why not use that to the best they can.
Exactly. And like you look at how much things are changing again, even in the last couple of years with artificial intelligence really taking and machine learning really taking a major role in computers. Yeah. And you see it even on Facebook, like even if an ad pops up, it knows it's like to your preferences. So like it really is an area of growth, and it's somewhere that's I think is going to really expand going forward.
Well, I very much see the current version of Pet Fix Club, if you like, that's like Mark 1, because exactly what you've said. I mean, when we started this process 2 years ago, I actually thought in my head, this is going to be a website that's going to use artificial intelligence to help animal care. And then as we got into it, it became obvious that's artificial intelligence is a big stretch. It's very much evolving. But it's also very complex, and it's something which I think that we will evolve to in due course. But at the moment, there are some websites out there that would claim artificial intelligence when dealing with different aspects, different signs that pets may show. But when you look into it, I don't believe it's really artificial intelligence. It's algorithms. A bit like our triage checker. It's not. It may look intelligent in the sense you type in questions and the computer asks you questions back, and you type in your answers and then they come to a conclusion. It may look like some sort of artificial intelligence, but it's not machine learning. It's not. And at the end of the process, by the way, we asked the question, was that satisfactory for you? Did that reach the conclusion that you wanted? And we have actually checked it. We've gone to we've on the phone. We've contacted vet clinics and we've recorded what they would recommend for animals showing the signs that we're talking about, whether it's a sore ear or a gastroenteritis or an animal who's had a seizure and who's fine again, whatever. We put in all the different scenarios into our triage checker, got the outcome, and we contacted vet clinics and we got the outcome, and the correlation is very close indeed. So I'm happy to say that I think that we're a really good alternative to that. But with machine learning behind it, you can get better again. And that's probably what is coming down the road. And yes, it's very exciting. I have to say also, by the way, I think the first thing most people will do if their pet does have a problem, whether it's an immediate problem that they see in front of them, or whether they go to the vet and the vet tells them, I don't know, your dog's got, like granulomatous meningoencephalitis, whatever, something complicated. First thing people do these days really is type it into Google, and they. For me, the results from Google are terrible, because they basically, you get told really one of two main things. First of all, you may be told the very worst possible outcome. So your dog has had a seizure and it seems fine again, and you'll get told your dog may have some terrible untreatable tumor, or it may have a bizarre meningoencephalitis of some kind caused by some sort of fungus, and you learn these things and it fills you with fear. Whereas it really isn't that complicated. And most dogs that have a seizure, for example, are very, very treatable and go on to very, very normal lives. That's one example. So first of all, you discover the very worst things. But the second thing is you often get given advice from websites which are high in the Google rankings because they've engineered that to be the case. So for example, if your dog's a ruptured cruciate ligament, you'll get taken to really good articles written by veterinary practices that offer the high-end cruciate surgeries, which are really very effective.
Today with Amazon Business, Shannon Stuckey of Wedderburn Woodworking helped her team buy 63 circular saws.
Okay, Andy, take it easy.
Now she uses her time to focus on growing something big. Buy smarter, dream bigger. Visit Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
What's that place you've always wanted to try? Well, you're there, sharing plates with...
Just one bite.
Or on second thought, maybe not sharing. It's that good. When you're with Amex, it's not if it's going to happen, but when. American Express. Don't live life without it.
But what you won't be told, for example, or what you find it hard to discover, is that if your dog weighs less than 15 kilograms and it's ruptured its cruciate ligaments, there's a very high chance your dog will get completely better with no surgery at all, simply with pure rest and time after 4 to 6 weeks. You won't get told that by Google. And so, you know, my aim with Pet Fix Club is to give people trusted advice when they have those sorts of situations, so they can come to us and know that they'll be given the benefit of knowledge and experience from vets who have been that soldier on the battlefield of pet care. And you know, they know that not everybody's going to pay for MRI scans and CT scans and titanium implants. And they know that there are alternatives to those things.
That's fantastic. Listen, Pete, I'm going to come back to you in a small while. I want to bring on our next guest here, and that is none other than, let me see where my mouse is. My mouse likes to disappear on this laptop. So I'm going to bring on our next guest, and that is Santa Claus himself.
Oh, Santa. Hello, Santa.
Hello.
Santa, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing very well.
I'm doing very well. I'm quite busy. I've just been out feeding the reindeer. And the reindeer, it's hard to feed them at this time of year, because what reindeer love is they love digging their snout in the snow and digging out little funguses from the roots of the trees. And the snow is getting quite thick now. So I have to help them. I have to shovel away the snow so that they can get at their favorite food. Oh, reindeer, I suppose, are as close as I come to pets, although I do have one husky. He likes the cold here.
Lovely, Santa. And Santa, it's been...
How are you doing? Have you been good?
Yeah, it's been a very strange year, Santa, hasn't it?
It has been a very, very strange year. It hasn't been so bad at the North Pole because we're a little bit isolated and not too many people come to visit us. So the COVID hasn't affected us, but the rest of the world has been very, very bad. It will be good when this year is over, and I'm hoping when I go around the world, I will drop a little something extra into all those people who've been working to give us a vaccine so that we can escape this and have a better year next year.
That's fantastic, Santa. And tell me, are you looking forward to Christmas Eve?
Well, am I looking forward to it? That's an interesting question. I enjoy it, but it's hard work. I have so many houses to visit that night. Oh, I will be exhausted, and my white beard will be black from all the chimneys. I look a bit like you, Dara, with the black beard.
Yeah, this is a side effect of
lockdown. I'm getting a bit big for the chimneys too. Sorry?
The beard is a side effect from lockdown.
Oh, oh yes. We all forgot to shave. I've been forgetting for 800 years now. Mrs. Claus keeps saying to me, she says, Santa, don't forget. And I say, Mrs. Claus, I will not forget. And then I remember I forgot to shave again today. Some year I'll surprise her and I will shave it all off. I hate to think what I'd look like under this.
Have you had many? Have you had many requests for presents from doggies and kittens around the world?
Well, I've had some. Most dogs have quite simple needs. They love affection, and I think if a dog is in a happy home, the dog doesn't even want anything. So dogs are very, very easy. Now cats are a little bit different. Ho ho ho! Cats are quite demanding. You know what they say. Dogs have owners, cats have servants. Ho 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 ho! But dogs, I find, as long as you make time for them, that's what a dog wants. And I know when I come down the chimney, often, especially people who have small little dogs, they yap a lot. And all you have to do is give them a little bit of attention, and then they calm down completely. But I do like some doggy treats. Now I know my husky. I have a husky, and I know my husky loves the bacon flavored treats. And I know a lot of dogs like those. The one thing I avoid though is I never ever give a dog anything with chocolate in it. And even the things that are safe for a dog, you don't want to give a dog a taste for the chocolate because chocolate is not good for dogs. Chocolate is for Santa, not for dogs. Ho ho ho!
And I suppose for me as well over the last 5 months.
Well, you've been good the last 12 months. I do know that, and I think when I was young, I think I was about 840. I remember you asked for a bike one year, and I think I forgot to leave it there. So I think you've been good enough this year that I might consider giving you a bike. Would you have any place to cycle though? Ho, ho, ho.
I'll
If they
find
lock
someone,
down the
Santa.
country again, I could give you a stationary bike and you could cycle in your own room. Ho, ho, ho.
I might need that in January. All right.
Ho, ho.
Well, listen,
You
Santa.
might, you might.
Santa, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know you have a lot of work to do this evening and over the next few days, and everyone will be in bed on Christmas Eve for you early.
Oh yes, fast asleep. Ho, ho, ho. And no snoring. I know a lot of people snore and it scares the reindeers. You land on a roof, you hear the snoring, you think there's a bear down there. And the reindeers sometimes have flown off the roof. And I've come up the chimney and I've been looking around and nobody to bring me to the next house. So make sure no snoring, fast asleep. And if you want to leave something, a carrot is always appreciated for the reindeer, and a glass of milk and a cookie for me. And sometimes near the end of the run, a glass of whiskey. And then I can let one of the elves drive the sleigh. They don't touch the whiskey.
Santa, listen, very happy Christmas and thank you for joining us on the Big Back.
It's been a pleasure and a happy Christmas to everyone. And more importantly, a happy new year to everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Santa.
Bye-bye.
That
That was a bit of a coup, Dara.
that was good. I think Santa had a bit of an echo, probably a bit of distance there between us and Norpole. But
Fair enough.
well, look, I'm going to bring on next of all. I'm going to bring on Dr. Tim Kirby. I believe you know Tim quite well as well.
Do indeed.
Tim, how are you doing?
Hey,
Hi,
Tim.
Darren. Hi, Pete. How are you keeping?
Tim, you were on a couple of weeks ago, chatting away like about the stuff not to give a dog for Christmas, and like the two of you, I suppose, yourself and Pete here, both being vets, you would see a lot of like cases over the Christmas where dogs ingest things that they shouldn't.
Absolutely, Darren. I suppose listening to Santa Claus there, he could nearly sign up to get a job in Pet Fix Club. I think he gave out so much advice. So he's an interesting character, Santa Claus. So he is. And very familiar accent, Darren. I'm not too sure if he's that far away from you, is he?
He's not that far away. He travels around a bit, but Millie has just joined us here as well. So Millie, you missed Santa Claus. So Tim, tell me then, for you, Tim, what has been the highlight of 2020 for you?
I suppose the personal highlight, we just had a little baby recently again, Dara, so that's a personal highlight, absolutely. I suppose professionally, I think we've made huge strides with the animal welfare in the country. We've a long way to go, may I add, but certainly we've taken a couple of steps forward collectively. And I suppose we're all obviously interested in animals here. This is why we're on this podcast in the first place. So I think it's good that we are certainly going in a positive direction, I would say, Dara. like there's a long road ahead. We've a lot of work to do, but you have to start somewhere. That's what I always see. And, you know, unless you do make a start, you can never reach a positive place. So in that sense, I think there are a lot of people trying to go the right direction. As I said, we have taken strides and go in that direction. And I think that is a good positive to take from it. It has been a difficult year, not just alone for individuals within the country, but for, say, pet owners as well, have struggled from listening to them as well. So I think a lot of the new ideas that have come out over the year are certainly very, very helpful to pets and their owners as well. So I think just you touched on it with Pete there as well. The use of technology has been, I think, an advent that has taken strides forward actually this year. And, you know, the more people use it positively, I think, is what can really create change. So I think collectively like that, certainly we have seen strides forward, but, you know, we've a long road to go as well.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there, like, it's been a hard year for owners, especially with the lockdowns. But, like, Pete, I think you'd agree, like, dogs, cats, like, having a companion animal, it has definitely helped a lot of people through this year.
I think it's been a remarkable year for pets, in fact, because, I mean, just first of all, they've been a remarkable support for people. So, like, we've lived in really crazy times when we can't see our human friends, and where we've had to stop socializing largely, have to stop going out, had to stop going on holidays. And so we've all been at home so much more. And pets have been like rocks of stability beside us. And they don't know that it's there's a pandemic going on, so they behave normally. And so they really have given us good lessons in living in the moment and appreciating what's around us. And pets have been great for that. And it's been a remarkable time as well in the changes that have happened. First of all, the legislation that came in February, March, changing how pets are allowed to be advertised. Now, that legislation is not properly enforced yet, but it will be. And the fact that it's there is a big advance. And as well as that, then the huge demand that has happened, in particular for puppies, is quite unbelievable. And nobody would have predicted that. So the puppies, pedigree Labrador puppies that would have sold for 400 or 500 euros a year ago are now selling for 1,500 or even 2,000 euros for a puppy, and that's a huge change. And in some ways, that's very negative, because that will indeed feed people who are in dog breeding for the wrong reasons, because people will be looking at this and saying, well, I can make a lot of money now. But the other side of it is, I suppose, that it does mean that animals have more value to I suppose the financial value reflects the value, or the emotional value, the total value of the animals to people. So in some ways, the fact that they are more financially valuable surely does reflect the fact that people are appreciating them more and giving them more overall value. And that has to be a good thing.
Absolutely. And on that, I want to bring in Samantha Rawson. Samantha, welcome to the Big Bark.
Hi, Dara. Hi, Pete. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Samantha.
So, Samantha, you were on with us in one of our last episodes of season 1, and this was back in around July or thereabouts, when what else was going on was the dog theft epidemic, as it was known as that time.
Yeah.
Now, that's still going on, and I suppose you probably be in agreement with Pete there, like, that the value of dogs as well, like, rising so much. I actually think that has probably fueled the dog thefts that we've been seeing.
Yeah, it has. And going back to what Pete said, you know, the raise in the monetary value of a dog, I don't know if it's yet to be seen that it equates with the emotional value of a dog. I mean, we've obviously all realized how valuable dogs are, or maybe people who didn't realize how valuable dogs were emotionally to us. I mean, we obviously all know that already. But maybe there's a new, you know, fan club of dogs now. But I would hope that the rise in monetary value equates to the actual emotional value of the animal itself, that it's not just, you know, a commodity. So certainly, yeah, the dog thefts were obviously spurred on by, you know, the prices that dogs could command. But but really, I don't know. I'd love to see maybe legislation where there is a ceiling on a market value of a dog, you know, because after all, they're pets. Sorry, Jazz, one of my dogs is going bananas here, looking for a toy. They are pets. They're not commodities. They're not, you know, racehorses. They're not livestock. They're pets. So I think there maybe should be a ceiling on their actual monetary value. Jazz.
And you know, Samantha, like in that episode, we actually talked with Dr. Sharon Alston, who is working with, who was working at the time with TD James Brown to introduce new legislation. And like you mentioned there about like the a ceiling on the value of a dog. One good thing that actually came out this year, I suppose, was that the likes of Done Deal and even Facebook Marketplace and all stopped actually allowing the sale of animals. So like that's definitely shown that there is steps in the right direction here.
Yeah, but I don't mean to be a party pooper, especially at Christmas, but I've had a few clients who obviously, you know, I know how much they've paid for the dog, given that it's lockdown and COVID and all the rest of it. And then they kind of say to me, oh God, I hope I'm not supporting puppy farming. Well, I'm sorry, you probably are, because good breeders don't command that kind of money. Good breeders have a waiting list. So if you've gone out and recently spent an extortionate amount of money on a dog, I'm sorry, there's a high probability that you are supporting puppy farming. Now, that's not to say that there is legalized, licensed, you know, checked by the councils. There are legalized puppy farmers. But I don't know, I think if you really are...
With bills to pay and debt piling up, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Personal loans through NetCredit can provide funding up to $10,000 to help you get back on track financially if eligible. Our secure application process allows you to customize the terms that work for you and your budget. So check your eligibility today without affecting your credit score and help get your finances back on track. NetCredit, a more personal loan. All NetCredit loans and lines of credit are offered by a member of the NetCredit family of companies or one of our lending partners. Visit netcredit.com/partners for more information.
With fast funding up to $10,000 available through NetCredit, our online application process was designed to get the money you need quickly if approved. You can borrow an amount that meets your needs and repay in a way that works for your financial situation. And we report on-time payments to credit bureaus, so you can build credit history as you repay. See what NetCredit can do for you today. Check your eligibility without affecting your credit score at netcredit.com. All NetCredit loans and lines of credit are offered by a member of the NetCredit family of companies or one of our lending partners. Visit netcredit.com/partners for more information.
Concerned about animal welfare, you would sit on your wallet and just wait until things calm down a bit.
Tim, I'm gonna go ahead, Pete.
People do find themselves in difficult situations. Like I had one recently where somebody found themselves in an environment where they thought they'd done everything right in choosing a breeder, and they checked, or they got the iPad download list of everything to check, but they actually got to this place and they realized it was in a rented bungalow. There was no sign of the family that was meant to be there. There was no sign of them. And they looked around and they thought, we've been had. This is a setup from a puppy farmer. But at that stage, the puppy was in front of them. Their own kids were there who'd been looking forward to this great event. And they just found it impossible to walk away from. And yeah. I've heard a study that something like half of people who are in that situation will just go through with it because they just they find it too difficult to back out once they've committed so far. I think what we can do is give people the information, and I think in most cases you would spot it in advance, but sometimes you do get caught out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think people are up to no good, have ways and means of hiding things, and obviously if you're innocently duped and you think you've done all your research, you've done everything right, then there's nothing you can do about that. And I suppose us as professionals, all we can do is support the new pup or the new pet or the new family in that situation and give them the best advice going forward. And I suppose all they can do is to put the word out to their friends and family and say how easy it is to be duped.
That's it.
So, Tim, I'm going to let you come in there as well, because, like, Tim, obviously with all the work you've done at Pet Bond, and like you work like with reputable breeders, would you like to give your own bit of input there?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I'd agree. The point that first of all, that Samantha, you raised there, you see, it's very difficult to benchmark, how do you value a pet? And it's a very, very difficult question to answer, really. Because with most things in life, with quality, there is a benchmark. The higher price is associated with better quality. And it almost seems to be the reverse when it comes to pets. So you look at some crazy scenarios that are going on out there, and people commanding huge prices for very sick animals genetically, and animals that will go on to develop a lot of issues as well. So price isn't really a good indicator of quality or say origins of where a puppy comes from. That's the first point that I would make as well. So it's a very, very unusual sector in that sense. And just as Pete said there as well, there are key things to look out for as well. I mean, just that example there of going to, an address to get a puppy. I mean, we have ways certainly where we provide specific information that there is only one address to go to collect a puppy. And we have verification of that before anyone that's looking to get that puppy would actually go there in the first place. And that's binding in our terms and conditions of the person that is buying the puppy. So, there's a lot of key touch points that you do have to address. And certainly the changes that came in earlier in 2020, they are very, very useful. But just as standalone touch points, they're absolutely not enough. You have to go well beyond those. So I know that, a lot of people are trying to bring other platforms in line that they do comply with those, but you have to go way beyond those. And that's something we do. We go far beyond those requirements to ensure that, number one, you have the unethical suppliers don't have access to the public. And number two, that the public looking for a puppy do have some protection as well. And, it's not a case where, the public don't have any stake in this or responsibility. I see it as a shared responsibility. So as a person that is looking to get a puppy, you do have to take a step back and ask certain questions before you even consider getting a pet in the first place.
Okay, very good. Well, just on what you do in Pet Bond, obviously I think everyone will agree there's loads of dogs and loads of animals in general looking for homes from different shelters. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in our next guest there. It's getting a bit packed in here, but I want to welcome Carrie there. Carrie, how are you doing?
Hi Clara, how's it going?
Very big welcome to the Big Bark. And Carrie, you probably know most of the people here. Carrie from Madra. Tell us a bit about Madra, will you?
Yeah, so Madra was set up in 2005. We take in about 500 dogs every year. We take them from the local county pounds in Galway and Mayo, and our aim is to rehome all the dogs in our care. We do get a lot of dogs that come to us that are not socialized, have come with a lot of trauma behind them. So we use reward-based training to work with them before we can move them on to the next step where they can go into foster homes and then eventually get adopted. So there's quite a lot of work involved. We have a very small kind of core team. And I suppose this year has been really tough for us because we haven't been able to kind of hold the normal kind of fundraisers that we would normally do during the year because of COVID. So we really appreciate the support from yourself, Sarah, and everyone at the Big Bark and everyone who's gotten involved with the raffles, because it's things like that that is really keeping rescues going at the moment.
Well, absolutely delighted to do it for you. And I was in Madra's shelter a good few years back with a friend of mine, and it was just it was really out in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. I didn't even get like 3 on my phone at the time, but it was a wonderful place to visit, and I'll definitely hope we'll be back there in the new year.
We'd absolutely love to have you back. It's been done up a bit since you were there, but we'd love to show you around when you come back.
Fantastic. Well, look, what I'm going to do now is we're going to take a break from the talking, and I'm going to bring on our musician here, Muireann. Let me see. Muireann, are you there?
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Muireann. How are you doing? Very welcome to the Big Bark, and thank you for coming on this evening to perform a few tunes. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to screen and I'm going to describe a movie afterwards with just a few minutes there.
Sorry, yeah, okay. Can you hear me? Am I okay?
Yeah, we can all hear you. Perfect. Okay.
Perfect. Cool. So I'm just gonna sing 2 songs for you guys. My name is Muireann. I'm from Dublin, and I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I know it's hard to get gigs during COVID, so thank you for having me on and let me play. So I'm gonna play 2 songs for you now, and the first one's an original, and then I'll move on to the Christmas songs. So this first one's called "I Do Better," and it's kind of about during COVID, no one's really liked being alone the whole time, but I love it. I'm one of those people that loves being by myself. Like, I'm not mad about people in the nicest way possible. But yeah, so this is called "I Do Better." Should I be in love at this point of my life? Or should I at least know where I'll end up? Should I have my future planned, or at least the next few months? I don't even know what I have for lunch, and don't tell me your name, oh, I won't remember. Don't tell me your mistakes, so I won't forget them. And if I wanted to change, I could go and get it, but I'd rather be alone. I do better when I'm on my own. I do better when I'm on my own. If I had the choice to sit on my own or have a conversation with someone I better know, I think the option is obvious. I'd rather keep myself confident. And don't tell me your name, no, I won't remember. Don't tell me your mistakes, so I won't forget them. And if I wanted to change, I could go and get it, but I'd rather be alone. I do better when I'm on my own. I do better when I'm on my own. I don't care about your favorite color. I don't wanna know if you're going it gets bad. I don't mean to come off as rude or self-centered, but I do the room with an empty mind and still feel just as bad. And don't tell me your name, oh, I won't remember. Don't tell me your mistakes, oh, I won't forget them. And if I wanted to change, I could go and get it, but I'd rather be alone. I do better when I'm on my own. So this song was called I Do Better. I wrote it during quarantine because I was loving the time for myself, but unfortunately I had to go back to school and get back to reality. So I'm going to sing a Christmas song now, and I chose White Christmas, and later on when I come back I'm going to do another Christmas song. So this one I chose because my mom, I had a choice between my mom and my dad's favorite Christmas song. I took my mom's one because it was easier to sing. My mom's favorite Christmas song, she said a while ago, was White Christmas, and my dad's was Drummer Boy, the David Bowie version. So I like this one. So I hope you like it. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your day be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May your days be merry and white, and may all your Christmases be white. Thank you. So that was White Christmas. And if I'm not sure what the plan's like for you guys, if I have time to do another song, or I can let you guys get back to talking because it's very interesting. I think I have there's someone popping on there.
Moon, if you don't mind, what we might do is, if you're free to hang about, we might have you actually sing out at the end of the show.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, look, we only have another few bits to do. We have the raffle left to do, and just kind of to wrap up as well. So we'll put you backstage for the time being, and we'll talk to you shortly.
Thanks, Million. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Brilliant voice. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, let's bring back our guest here now. Guys, welcome back.
There you go.
Okay, so hearing a bit of an echo there now. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's better. Right. Let's get the raffle done here. So I have the other laptop brought up here for the screen here, and I'm just gonna bring up as well, kind of get a running total here of how much has actually been raised. So let me just see. That's up now in a sec. And okay. Stripe would be the easiest way to do that now. Okay. So the total funds that we raised, I'm not sure. Let me just see who is. Let's see who has a bit of noise there. Carrie, I'm just going to mute you there. It's not Carrie. Hold on a sec. I'm just trying to see who has a bit of noise there. Okay, anyway, the total funds raised from all events that we've done over the last month since the 29th of November is €1,705.
Wow, well done.
So those funds go between Madra, between Limerick Animal Welfare, Dogs Aid, and the last charity is the Search for Dogs Association. So we're delighted with the response, and thank you to everybody who has actually pitched in over the last month. And Carrie, special thanks to you for being so great sharing it as well over the last month. I'd say you must be nearly tired of all the social media posts by now, but thanks so much for all that. And
it's totally worth it. Thank you.
Thanks to all the other charities. Thanks to Marie O'Connor. Marie couldn't join us from Limerick Animal Welfare this evening. She got held up. Thanks to Edel in Search and Rescue, Dog Association of Ireland, and thanks to Anya in Dog Aid as well. So with that, let's get the raffle underway here. And I have all the names, all the numbers gone in and into the wheel here. So I'm going to start with the first one here. Okay, so our first number, I need to document these two. Our first number is 139, and that is for the bottle of red wine. So let's see. Red wine. Next up, what do we have? Next up is ticket number 217, and that is for the bottle of white wine.
It's a dog fest. Look, it's a dog fest.
So what have we next? Next up, we have the Murphy Richards Spiralizer. And the winner of that is, let's see. I'm going to spin this thing again here. Okay. Next up, Murphy Richards Spiralizer. What number is this? That is ticket 157.
Again, Dan?
Okay. Next up, we have a 30-euro voucher courtesy of the Milk Thistle Kitchen and Restaurant here in Limerick. So if anyone wins is down that way, it'd be a great one to win.
Twit.
And that goes to ticket number 171. So let's see. I'm gonna get.
Really?
Give me a moment before I get pen off here. Okay, so next up is spinning. Next up is ticket 208. So that is for the Licky Mat Wobble, and that is courtesy of Positive Dog Training in Dublin. So next up then, we have 2 packets of North Pet Treats, and that is for ticket
Really?
213.
Really?
Okay, again.
What? You want to break the computer? Stop.
Sounds like he's a handful there, Samantha.
Which dog is that? Is that your dog, Samantha?
Yeah. Looking
Sounds
for
like
some
you're getting bored there.
Yeah. Collies, they're just too impatient.
Next up, we have the 100 Mutt Mitts, and that is ticket number 104.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, next up we have a selection of training goods. So that includes, includes a nice bag there for your belt, and it includes the dog lead as well. So that one is going to ticket number 115. And next up, we have 2 bags of treats.
I'm going to break the computer.
Dog training, and that is going to ticket number.
It's gone dark now.
That's 176. 176. That's it.
I'm dark.
Okay. Next up, then we have a copy of Easy Peasy Doggy Squeezy. So that's the book by Steve Mann. So we have a copy of that to give away next. And let me bring that up. That is going to ticket number.
Walking in the dark.
It's going to ticket number 200.
What do you want to come?
And 2 more prizes left. Next up, we have the Waggy Pet ID tags. They were on the show on the 29th of November. And ID tags there. And that is going to ticket number 101. And let me see. Finally, then, our main prize, which is the €175 voucher from Cormac Brown Photography. And I want to give Cormac a massive shout out as well. Cormac did a brilliant photo there there the other day for Limerick Animal Welfare, and he like allowed us to bring our own kids basically, and that way then like they were in the photo shoot as well. So it was a really nice idea. And Cormac gave us 2 vouchers, one for this raffle and one for the last one. Both were €175. So big shout out to Cormac and Hazel.
Well done, Cormac.
And let me bring this up. So that is ticket number. That is ticket number 116. So
You're going to wreck the computer.
Okay, so that's all the prizes. So well done to everyone, and I'll be in touch with everyone tomorrow on that for anyone who won prizes. And yeah, so it's been an exciting year. Before we leave, I just want to ask you all, what are you all looking forward to in 2021? I'll start with you, Pete.
2021.
I'm looking forward to Pet Fix Club getting going big time. We've just launched in the end of November, so we just started really, and I'm just looking forward to it developing. I'm looking forward to answering more Ask a Vet questions from people, and if anybody wants to know, go and sign up for your free month and you find out more about it. And happy to connect with everybody there. And I'm really looking forward to doing more of that through 2021.
That's fantastic. Carrie, I'll come to you next.
I'm looking forward to, I suppose, having our volunteers back at our shelter, holding more fundraising events, getting to see all our supporters again, which we haven't been able to do this year. And it's really been a shame because we've such a close community of supporters. So it'll be fantastic to look forward to in 2020 holding events again and just seeing all the people who helped make Madra what it is.
Fantastic. Samantha, I'm going to come to you next.
I am looking forward to helping dogs and owners, but I'm really looking forward to getting to a dog show or a dog event or a country show or some outdoor event where there are lots of animals. I'm really missing the dog shows and the dog people at the dog shows.
Fantastic. And Tim, I'm going to come to you.
I think, Dara, what we like most is just to get back to whatever normal is. So just get over this COVID hump, just see people coming back to normality and doing the very simple things that we enjoy doing. I think that highlights how precious they actually were at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, look, on behalf of myself and I suppose my 2 canine co-hosts, one of whom is sound asleep there. I don't know if you can see her. She's sound asleep on the chair. Millie is there. But I just want to thank everyone who has been so generous with all the spot prizes that they gave us this year. I want to thank everyone who has bought tickets, not just for this event, but for the Santa Claus days, for the last raffle that we did, and all over for Christmas, and everyone who has tuned in throughout the year, and all of you guys as well, to all our guests who have been on. It's a pleasure to have so many wonderful people working in the canine industry on with us each week.
Thank you, Dara. It's been great.
And I'm going to bring back in Mary there now. And guys, a very happy Christmas to you all. And I'm going to have Muireann now sing us out. And I just want to take this opportunity to wish everyone that's watching and who has watched us a very happy Christmas and a really fantastic 2021. And hopefully this COVID thing will just like go off that way somewhere and leave us all be. Yeah. And we can get on with back to our normal lives.
Hey.
So, from all of us here at the Big Bar, very good night.
Thanks, guys.
Muireann, I'm going to leave you sing up the show, and a very happy Christmas to you and to your mother, both of you who were in contact with us the last few weeks, and to all your family as well, man.
Thanks, and happy Christmas to you too. Cool. So I'm just going to sing one last song. If you didn't hear me before, I said I'm going to sing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I think I'm just going to kind of say thanks so much for having me. And if we do go into another lockdown again after Christmas, keep safe, look after yourselves. Enjoy Christmas, and then we'll have to, unfortunately, go back. So this is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Have yourself
Oh, merry little Christmas. May your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year, all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all be together. The fates allow. So hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Amazon Business honors Ricardo Gurgel, owner of Veggie Root Tavern. This week, Ricardo saved big and used Amazon Business to help his team buy commercial deep fryers at a quantity discount. Because even veggies can be fried.
I'm gonna need 2 orders of fried fiddleheads.
With business buying easier than before, Ricardo now uses his extra time to focus on growing something big. Buy smarter, dream bigger. Visit Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying. Fiddleheads. Yum.